That is the guilty look of a dog that has stolen your seat. When you have set up your filming station, you got your lights, you got your position, you got your comfy seat. Granted, it's on her bed. And you go to get your cup of tea, like so, and you come back and the demon, ooh, your eyes look a bit bloodshot, Mash, and the demon has stolen your seat. I might have to sit on her before we get started. Hello again. How is everybody? I hope you are well. I am coming to you a week, less than a week, hopefully, if I've edited this on time, than the first one that I did. So I didn't say it last time because you know my history with keeping up with these things. But in an ideal world, I will be posting again once a week. There'll be a few weeks where I miss things or I'm on holiday or other things are happening, but generally speaking, I want to start posting on a weekly basis. And if I really was being honest with what I want to achieve, a Sunday morning upload, UK British time. UK British? Was that strictly necessary? No, but UK time. So sometime in the morning on a Sunday, so you can give it a watch over the weekend. And it gave me a chance to upload it the internet to where I've moved is a little bit slower than what I'm used to, so things are taking a bit longer to upload. You will see the body of a dog right here, and you may have seen in the intro that I got everything set up, ready to film, and little darling demon dog decided that she would lay exactly where I wanted to sit, so there you go. As I mentioned in the last video, I want to start including lots of different things in these films, because I'm a movie star. No, I want to start including things like autumn plans or, oh, you got a better shot of her behind me now. I want to start including things like what I'm planning on making, yarn choices, patterns that I find really interesting. I've been really enjoying that content from other podcasters at the moment, so I figured I'd give it a go myself. So with that in mind, this episode is about what I want to make this autumn. I don't think I'll make all of it. I've put 5-ish things as the title because I have identified and let's give that another go. I have identified 5 patterns that I plan on making, and 2 of them 100% are going to happen this autumn, and the others I'm hoping I might be able to do as well. But as you'll see towards the end of the video, I've put about 20 patterns that get an honourable mention that I want to make at some point and would love to make this autumn. The other thing I thought I would do is talk to you about a little bit first about the style of things that I want to start making and how I want to style these knits. The reason I say that is because I've got so many knits that I don't wear that I love and they're brilliant pieces and I love the colours, but they just don't go with my wardrobe. So I'm trying to start thinking about what I make and how that would fit in my wardrobe and how I want to wear things. I mentioned in the last video, and I definitely will be in the future doing a how I style my knits video, because I want to show you how I pair things together and how I start being a bit more thoughtful with what I make. One thing that's really versatile that I never thought I would make is this pattern right here. So this is the Sweater Hug by Skein Deer in Jacob's wool from West Yorkshire Spinners. It is a very rustic wool. I probably have like a medium to low sensitivity to wool, so I can wear this no problem. However, I do think some people might find it a little bit scratchy. It definitely did soften up when I blocked it, and it smelled super sheepy. I had to block it twice just to get the smell out. As much as I love it, I don't want people to think I smell like a farm. And so this is a piece I thought I wouldn't make because I never really made anything grey, and then I went through this phase of making several grey jumpers because they just go with a lot of my more brightly coloured wardrobe. So I've got this like yellow tartan fitted skirt on, and it pairs, I think, really nicely. Whereas if I had made something really bright, I wouldn't necessarily be able to wear it with this skirt because I find yellow clashes with a lot of things. Not that I own a lot of yellow, but these more neutral jumpers go with my more loud patterned wardrobe. So I think that's a good good balance. Having said that, I will still make some fun, brightly coloured things because that makes me happy. Okay, so I guess I'll get started. Miraculously, before you should see a slide that I prepared earlier. This has got some feel of the style that I'm going for. So it's very popular at the moment. It's that kind of light academia, autumnal, like shorter fitted skirts or A-line skirts with big cozy jumpers over the tops, tights and boots. I also like my personal style, to be honest with you. If I could, I'd dress like a 50s pin-up all the time. I love it. It's just not practical. I work from home. I've got a dog that I'd have to take on walks 3 times a day. I go to the gym. It's just not a wardrobe that makes sense with how I live my life, even though I wish it was. This is my happy medium, and I do like everything that I've put up is very modern, but I do like very vintage twists, like a nice little waist belt, like some vintage accessories, or even that like a pencil skirt with the same kind of oversized jumpers. So that's the looks that I'm going for. Now, let's go and have a look at the patterns that I've chosen. Top 5-ish. Okay, so again, miraculously on your screen we have a slide that I prepared earlier. I feel like I'm on Blue Peter. Here's something I prepared earlier. This will show you the number 1 on my list, something that I'm actually going to be casting on today, and I'll be making another video on. So I am planning on making Paloma by Espace Tricot. It is a free pattern. It's very similar to their classic sweater pattern, but I really like that it's got the ribbing detail down the arms, and nicely pictured next to it is my latest stash acquisition. Well, I say stash acquisition, it's not going into the stash, I'm actually going to use it straight away. So you may or may not already know, October is my birthday month. For those into horoscopes, I am a Libra, but I don't know what that means. I've been told by many that do know what they're talking about that I'm very much a Libra. I'm a very balanced person, which I guess makes, with no big ups and downs, and very stable. Does that make sense? Is that what a Libra is? I don't know, it's got the scales, doesn't it? So yeah, it's my birthday month, so my gift to myself was this yarn. Let me show you. So I'm so excited about this. This is Beehive Yarns, who is amazing. Beth has just started her own podcast. You should definitely check that out. But her yarn is just to die for. This is the colourway Maple, and it's so autumny. I was squealing when it came in the post. My boyfriend is not used to my yarn deliveries yet because I've actually not been having that many. I've been trying to focus on working my way through my stash. Most of the other things I'm talking about are stash on rather than things that I need to order. And he just looked at me like I was absolutely insane, and I was like, isn't it beautiful? Isn't it the most autumn colour you've ever seen? And he was like, I'm going to say yes because I think that's what you want me to say. It's like, why aren't you excited like I am? But anyway, I'm so happy with this. The colour's even nicer in person. So as you can see, it's very autumnal. I'm going to use the Audrey base and the Patty base. It's a sock base, which is 75-25. And then obviously the Patty is mohair silk. I actually don't think, I know, I've only ever made, I think, 1 pattern that has mohair. Is that true? I don't use mohair that much. I know that it's been a massive phase, but I feel like this is the perfect sweater for it. So very excited about this. I'm seeing it with like exactly like the pictures I showed earlier, with like little tight skirt, like mini skirt, boots, tights, this jumper over the top, but even like jeans and Converse or jeans and Vans, which I don't wear jeans as much as I should, but I think I will start wearing them. And I just, the autumn colour, I think it's absolutely beautiful. So that is going to be my birthday project. So yeah, like I said, it's my birthday this month. We're about a third of, I can't believe it, about a third of the way through October already. So I'm planning on doing a video and just basically filming the whole process. And once I'm done, I'll edit it all together and you can see from beginning to end, like vision and how I managed to do it. And I'll include some styling and stuff in that. So that is number 1, the classic, the Paloma, but also check out the classic by Espace Tricot because it's beautiful, and I feel like it really fits that whole theme that I showed at the beginning that I think a lot of people are into at the moment. So the next one I'm planning on talking to you about is Chuck by Andy Sutherland. This I've had in my Ravelry queue for absolute years. Her Miette cardigan used to be a free pattern. I think it was one of the first garments I ever made, and I made it really tiny. My gauge has loosened up quite a lot since then. But I love her style. It's kind of that vintage nod, but not too much. And this one I feel like I would wear to death. So I love the cables. I love the crop nature fitted. I like the more open neckline. A lot of what I've been making, you might realise, is turtlenecks or polo necks, and it's quite nice to have something a little bit lower, even though a turtleneck is definitely my favourite neckline. This is going to be a stash project, so the yarn that they recommend I actually have, so it's the Cascade 220, it's a worsted weight pattern. I was trying to decide on colour, so these are the colours that I've got, oh, they're like numbers, 7803, but I have recently had a design idea for this, so we're definitely not using that one yet. I have the 9567, which I love, but I think I might use for a pattern I'm going to show you later. We have 1006, which I also love. I have sweater quantities of all of these, I think, or just about. I guess worst case I'll order some more, but not sure what I'm doing with this one yet, so if you have any ideas, let me know. And then lastly, which I think is the winner for the chuck, is this gorgeous deep red. It's actually showing up a bit brighter on the camera. So the colour is 9404. It's a bit darker. Anyway, it's a bit darker than it's showing up on camera, but I think a red cable sweater will be so autumnal. This is something that I'm going to cast on next after I finish a couple of my current projects. If you saw my last episode, head back if you didn't, it's just a quick intro video, not too long. You'll see what I'm working on at the moment: a jumper for my boyfriend, the Gib 2, and a jumper for myself, the Birch pullover. Love them. I'm on the sleeves for both of them, early stages, but just up the sleeves, so hopefully they won't take too long and then I can cast this on too. I don't actually like having too many projects on these. I used to cast on loads, and I've got loads sort of like in hibernation, but at the moment I only ever really work on 2 projects at a time. I'm gonna be 3 now because I need to start my birthday jumper, but also that's gonna be much more simple with lots of stockinette. The other 2 patterns that I'm making both have stitch patterns throughout the whole thing, so it's quite nice, and they're sleeves, and I'm on Sleeve Island and I'm getting a bit bored, so it'd be quite nice to have something else I can work on that isn't a sleeve for now. So the next one I wanted to talk to you about is Marilyn by Fable Knitwear. The name alone does it, I'm sure you're aware. Fable Knitwear has some really, really beautiful patterns. I've made a couple of hers before. I actually made the Norma Jean pullover as well. This one's similar actually, but more lightweight, so it's a fingering weight yarn. I see lots of these in my future, if I'm honest. I think it's the perfect basic, and it's really good layering piece as well, with it being fingering weight. You can wear things on top of it, or like tuck it in and have it with a nice jacket, and I can see it with all of those skirts and pencil skirts, and like I said, even dressed down with like jeans and Converse. So I've got 2 options from my stash that I definitely want to try. I think I say either or, and tell me in the comments below if you think one would look better than the other. I probably will end up doing both, but maybe let me know what one I can start with. I mean, the working on the Birch pullover at the moment, because it's broken rib, is putting me off fingering weight because it's taking so long, but fingering weight sweaters are my favourite. I feel like they're really flattering because of the way that they bend and fit your body. I mean, this is lovely. I think it's either a DK or a worsted weight. Feels quite thick, maybe a worsted weight, and I love it, and it does fit really nicely, but it doesn't drape and hug your body in the same way as a fingering weight jumper, so I definitely think they're worth the effort. Do any of you avoid fingering weight jumpers? I would love to know. But the options are another Cascade. I bought this stuff years ago, it's been sitting in my stash for ages. Got Cascade 220 fingering in colour 4002. It's like a very, very, very dark grey, almost black, but maybe like a charcoal, and I feel like that would look really nice and would go with so many things. And then the other one I've got is Mondim, or Mondim, the Portuguese wool. Now I've seen a lot of people working with this at the moment, and actually my Birch pullover is also in this yarn in a different colour, but I got this rosy dusky pink colour, which is colourway 110, and I just thought it would make the most romantic, beautiful polo neck. And I also really love this colour with my hair colour and my skin colour. I have to be really careful with light pinks because my skin is really light. I'm actually got a tan at the moment from how much hot weather we've had. Like, this is tanned. In the winter I get really pale and I feel like light pinks kind of end up blending in with my skin. But this has got like a nice dusky undertone to it, so I feel like it's a bit more flattering. So yeah, let me know, charcoal or pink or both, which one first? I'd love your help. Thank you. So that is number 3. So the next one, number 4, is The Other Raglan by Courtney Little. Now this has been in my queue since the very beginning it came out. Like, I just needed it. I saw Maven Crafted did the test knit and she made an orange version with not very much ease, or if not negative ease, and she looked amazing. I loved it so much that I really wanted to make it. I really want the orange version, but I don't know how I feel about orange with my colour hair. Do we have any gingers out there? Any lovely redheads that wear orange or can give me advice if orange looks good on redheads? I guess I should go into a shop and just try something on that's orange. I just have this block in my head that it's just too similar and it's just not going to look nice. But I would love to make the exact one that she made. However, I have this yarn from when I went travelling. I bought it in Latvia, funny enough, on my birthday 2 years ago. We spent the morning in Latvia and then the afternoon in Lithuania on my birthday. But my parents sent me some money to buy myself a birthday present because obviously they didn't see me for the year I was away. And this is what I bought. I got talking to this lovely lady in this little shop in the capital in Latvia. The tag says hobby wool, and it literally is just money per grams. Now this one is 194 grams, but I've got another 3 or 4 of these and it was €8.73. It was such a bargain and the colours are just delicious. If I show you, I just absolutely love it. You've got the greens and the blues and the pinks and purple mauve kind of colours, and this is destined to be the other raglan. I thought that when I bought it, but it's been 2 years and I haven't made it yet, so encourage me to do it. I just think it's gonna be amazing. I don't know how it's gonna knit up. The colours seem quite, like the colour is like variegated on quite long lengths. I'm not a dyer, I don't know how to talk about that properly, but it's not like micro, it's like longer stripes. So I'd love to see how this is gonna knit up, but I just love all of those colours together. The other raglan, I suspect, is another one that I'll make a few of. It's such a good classic, and you're probably seeing so far that pretty much everything I've said is quite simple and quite classic, and so I think will go really well. Like I said at the beginning, I'm finding that my more crazy bright mates aren't going with things, so it'd be really nice to have some more classic wardrobe jumpers in my wardrobe that I can grab and chuck on with things, and then I get to wear them a lot more, which is a win-win considering the amount of effort that goes into them. But yeah, this is destined to be the other raglan. Is that what I meant? Yeah, the other raglan. Oh, I'm getting confused. This is definitely the other raglan. I can't wait to do it. I definitely recommend that pattern as well because I love the designer. I have made a couple of her, I can't remember the name of it, Quentin raglans for men in my life, and it's a really great pattern, so I'm guessing the other raglan will be exactly the same. The 5th and final main pattern I wanted to talk to you about, remember it's 5-ish, is the Mohair Gallant Sweater by Kadri or Kadri. I'm not actually sure how you say it, but maybe you could let me know so I don't sound like an idiot. Yeah, I love this. The second I saw it, I knew I wanted to make one. I don't have any yarn for it at the moment. It's entirely mohair jumper. I don't really have that much mohair in my stash. I've got individual bits for specific projects, but not nowhere near enough of the quantity because I think you hold it double, if not triple. I think double. I really want one in lilac or like ultraviolet. I want a really nice lilac-y. I just love, again, it's a little turtleneck, just a little bit more loose. The lilac probably won't go with most of my wardrobe, but I just really want one. I was also thinking like a lemon yellow would be really nice. Again, probably not going to go with everything that I have, although lemon yellow goes quite nicely with jeans, I guess. Regardless, I really want to make a few of these. I really like it. I feel like it's got that nice kind of skimming shape to it. I think it would be really flattering on most people, and I just really, really like this pattern. Have you got any ideas of a way of me making it a bit more wardrobe friendly? I would love to hear. But yeah, this one is probably a little bit further in the future. I would love to make it for fall or autumn. Americanisms coming in. But realistically, I've got so much stash to work my way through that it probably won't happen. I guess it could also be reused as a spring pattern, especially in the lilac and yellow that I'm talking about, but this one looks really beautiful. Okay, so this is when the ish of the 5-ish comes in. This last slide that I'm about to show you has just a handful, well, slightly more than a handful, a nice, decent handful of, more than a handful, like I said, of, I just threw myself there, of honourable mention patterns that I have really liked and have been in my queue for a while, and some of them I do actually have yarn for, or I may have started. What I'll do is I'll pop up the picture and then I'll just talk you through it. I've got it written down in front of me because there's a lot there, so here we go. So starting in the top left, working my way across, down and then back around. The first one is the Brioche Sound Waves by Stephen West. So this is obviously a big wrap pattern. I've wanted the big wrap for the longest time, and multiple of his sort of, what does he call them, schlanket patterns, I just love the look of. But I really prefer making garments. I have cast this on, I have started it, and I've unravelled it a couple of times. So I've got like a purpley colour and a dusky pinky colour that look really good together. It's alpaca yarn, but it requires an I-cord bind cast on, and I find no matter how big I use the needles, no matter how I do it, the bind off ends up being way too tight compared to my gauge for the brioche. So I think what I'm going to do instead is do a regular cast on, finish it, and then come back and do an I-cord along the edge at the end so that the gauge is right after I've blocked. Yeah, that's I think what I'm going to do, but who knows when I'm going to do that. I think really what I should have done for a wrap pattern is pick something simple first. Brioche is the pattern, and brioche I'm a bit slow at, but I guess by the end of the wrap I'd probably be pretty good at it. The next one along is, I don't know how to pronounce this, it's Gaelic I think. It's the circle, it's Gaelic for circle cardigan. Now this one I'm absolutely obsessed with. I saw it in whose video was I watching? I think it might have been the Grocery Girls, and it's like a big round concoction that has sleeves, and it just looks so cozy, and I was thinking I could knit up a little belt to go with it. Don't know when I'm going to do it, don't have the yarn for it at the moment, but it's something I really like and thought feels really autumnal. Then we've got a couple of Kim Hargreaves patterns who I'm absolutely obsessed with. So you've got Laurie, that I feel like has a really good vintage feel. I don't have anything particular in mind, but suspect I probably have something in my stash that could make work for that pattern. I feel like it does give that light academia vibes. I can see it with like a little pinafore skirt or something like that. I think it'd be really cool. Then you've got Major. I just thought it was a really nice looser cable fitted jumper that would just be really cozy, and you could probably make it longer and turn it into a dress and wear it with tights and boots. Then we've got Blank. Now this one I really am considering. I've had this in my queue since I bought the Blank book from the Knitting and Stitching show a few years ago. I'm actually going to the Knitting and Stitching show at Ali Pali this weekend. So actually by the time you're watching this I would have already been, like most likely. And I was thinking about maybe picking up yarn for this whilst I'm there, because they always have a Rowan stall, and Kim Hargreaves works through Rowan, I believe, or all the yarn she uses is Rowan, so I imagine she's a designer for them. And I just absolutely love this. I imagine it in like a really dark navy. Then we've got Beauty directly below. Again, I just thought this was really, really beautiful. I love the deep neck at the back. It's just, yeah, just absolutely gorgeous. Next one's a bit of a funny one. So this is the Dino Hat by Sari Nordland. It's a kid's pattern in fingering weight yarn. I don't have the yarn for it, but I need a dinosaur hat in my life. So what I was thinking about doing is getting some DK, swatching up a gauge, maybe even changing the stitch count a little bit and fudging it, because I need one of these in my life. I love it so much, and I love that little neon green pom-pom. So then we've also got Gina and Spring. Love these patterns, think they're really beautiful. They're Kim Hargreaves again, thinking maybe using Cascade for the Spring. One of those, the colours I showed you earlier, that darker blue, that really dusty blue, I think that'd be perfect. Then we've got the Ithilien vest by Fable Knitwear. I have the yarn for this, so I've got a beautiful mohair from Ching Fibre that I again bought at the Knitting and Stitching show a couple of years ago, and just a plain light grey. I absolutely love this. I know it's going to be beautiful make, but I'm not sure how I would style it. So I love vests, but I don't know how to work them into my wardrobe. So if you guys have any advice, I'd really appreciate that. I'm not quite sure how I would wear it yet, but I really do want to make that. Then we've got the Home Sweater V-neck by Cardry, another one from Cardry again. I love this. It looks so cozy and comfortable. I love the V-neck. I don't actually have that many V-necks, but I think I want to sort of venture into that realm, especially a looser V-neck. Again, like slouchy over jeans, like fitted jeans, I feel like would be really nice. And then lastly, Dotty by Poison Girls. Again, I feel like I could use Cascade. It's a worsted pattern. I just don't have that many cardigans. In fact, I have one. I made some years ago, I don't have them anymore, and I feel like I need, despite the fact that I've only listed jumpers, what I really need in my wardrobe is some cardigans, and I feel like this would be a really good one, really good transitional piece for the autumn. Okay, that's it. Those are my autumn plans. So in an ideal world, I'll get about 3 or 4 of the planned. That's a really high number. Minimum 2. Well, at least the first 2, and hopefully get something started on some of the other ones in my list for this autumn. Let me know, what are you making this autumn? Did you find any of this inspiring? Have you found any patterns that you're interested in making now? A lot of these are in my Ravelry queue. Ponder Ply and Ravelry. That's not that easy to say. Ravelry. If you use it and you want to check out my queue, please do. I've got 200 to 300 patterns on there. I want to make all of them, but it's a similar idea. That's a lot of that is what I've got on there. So please check that out. Also head over to my Instagram page, again, Ponder Ply. I've got lots of knits I've already made on there, and on my stories, as I mentioned last time, I'm starting to post how I style my knits. So this one was posted today. I've got that sweater hug on with this little skirt. When I go out outside, it's actually quite warm, so I didn't need tights, but what I would usually do is wear it with a pair of tights and boots. And yeah, actually it fits quite nicely into that slide I showed at the beginning. I might get a picture as well. I've got a picture of my stories, but I might put it in actually I might make a highlights reel. Watch this space, there might be a highlights reel of how I like to style my knits, and also I'll do a video in the future. But I hope you enjoyed it. Let me know what else you want to see from me. My next video will likely be a catch up, maybe a knit and chat with some video footage from the Knitting and Stitching show in Ali Pally, talk about my acquisitions, give you an update on my whips. So I will see you next week. Have a wonderful week. It's lovely talking to you. See you soon. Oh, Maya says bye. Goodbye. Goodbye. It's like, Mama, don't do it. Don't do it. Leave me alone. I'm sleeping. See you.